The 2019 NBA Finals matchup is officially set between the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors, and I'm here to give you guys my preview and prediction for the finals. What is going on, y'all? Five Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA, and here to talk about the finals, which I mentioned, and give you guys my preview and prediction. Before I do that, if you are new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe by clicking the subscribe button down below and turn on my post notifications. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and follow me on my social media. Follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram, and all of that. So we'll give you guys my preview and prediction like I mentioned, but also with each finals game, I will make sure to give my reaction. So I'm going to be doing videos after every game and basically talking about, my thoughts on that. And I might do a couple live streams as well. So again, you're going to want to be tuned in because I'm going to be providing all the coverage for the finals. So with that being said, I don't want to wait any longer. Let's get into some analysis. So real quick, before diving deep into the analysis, let's just get a few things out of the way, which is the health of Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins and Andre Iguodala. Now, Andre Iguodala, they're officially saying he's good to go for Game 1 and the NBA Finals, so we are good there. No questions for Iggy. He will be able to suit up for the Warriors. Now, as far as DeMarcus Cousins, they're saying that he could potentially play in Game 1, but it's still up in the air. So I'm expecting DeMarcus Cousins to, of course, return in this series. If not Game 1, definitely, later down in the series. And with Kevin Durant, obviously the biggest question by far for the Warriors. And he is expected to not be ready for the start of the finals, but expected to, of course, join the Warriors sometime during the finals. So I'm assuming he misses Game 1 for sure, potentially Game 2, and then after that, potentially returning. So that is the health status of the, Golden State Warriors, which is, of course, going to be important. Not that, they can't win this series without them, but certainly it would help. And then as far as the Raptors, I mean, they really don't have too many key injuries. I know Patrick McCaw is ready to return, but again, he's essentially non-existent for the Raptors, but no major injuries there. And then the other thing I want to point out is the Raptors actually have home court advantage in this series. Yes, that's right. They have the better regular season record, 58 wins compared to 57 for the Warriors. I bet a lot of people did not know that. That is going to play a factor, I believe, in this series a little bit, okay? Because, of course, having home court advantage versus not having home court advantage, I'd rather have it, okay? So that obviously will help the Raptors, okay? So with that being said, and that's out of the way, let's now go into the analysis and the matchup. So I'm going to talk about keys for each team, and I have to start with, of course, the Toronto Raptors here because the Warriors are favored in this series, and for good reason. They're a juggernaut. This is their 5th straight finals. They could potentially win their 4th championship since 2015. So the Raptors are in new territory here. They've never been to the NBA Finals. They never even won the Eastern Conference, okay? So they've literally got into some uncharted territory on the backs of one Kawhi Leonard, who has absolutely carried this team. So what are the keys for the Raptors? Well, number one, to me, a lot of people are going to point to Steph Curry, maybe Klay Thompson, of course, Kevin Durant when he returns. But to me, the number one key for the Toronto Raptors is to stop Draymond Green. And you're right, you're probably like, Fiz, are you crazy? Draymond Green, why are you focusing on him so much, folks? A lot of people don't understand this, but Draymond Green is such an integral part of what the Warriors do, and he really makes the Warriors go, okay? As far as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they're absolutely unreal, and they're, obviously the Splash Brothers, and everything you can say about them applies, but Draymond Green is the heart and soul of the Warriors, okay? And why it's so important to stop Draymond Green is because he sets up Klay and Steph. He sets up everybody on the Warriors. When Draymond Green is running down the fast break and pushing down the court, and you're not able to get a body on him or you're not able to get somebody in front of him, he's going to wreak havoc, okay? Whether that's, again, finding Klay or Steph, whether that's rebounding the ball, whether that's throwing up a lob to Kevon Looney or Andre Iguodala, whatever it is that the Warriors need, Draymond Green does it for them. And so if you cut off Draymond Green, if you slow him down, you are going to really, really slow down the Warriors. And I'm telling you, that is going to be the biggest recipe for success for the Raptors. because I'm telling you, if you let Draymond Green run buck wild all over the series like he's been doing the past 2 series, against the Houston Rockets and then against the Portland Trailblazers, the Warriors will absolutely trample the Raptors, and the Raptors will have no chance in this series, okay? You cannot let Draymond Green run wild. Neutralize him. Stop him from setting up guys, and then stop him, of course, with even getting confidence in his jump shot. You guys remember he hit the dagger 3 in Game 4 against the Blazers, okay, to put that series away. So you want to talk about Draymond Green's passing ability and rebounding ability, but then you let him get, confidence in his jump shot, you're pretty much done at that point. So the Raptors need to understand, slow down and stop Draymond Green. That is number one key. As far as who's going to do it, I mean, Pascal Siakam, I'm assuming he's going to start on Draymond Green. He's a good defender, but, I'm curious if he's able to do that. Marc Gasol is an excellent defender, but I'm worried if Draymond Green's going to be too quick for him. So you might have to throw a number of guys at him. Whatever it needs to be, it needs to get done, and that is to stop Draymond Green. That's number one. Key number two, of course, is who's going to guard Steph Curry, okay? This is obviously very important because Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard are going to be obviously your first choices. But if you think about putting Kawhi on Steph moves around a lot, okay? And he absolutely will tire out Kawhi Leonard. And you want to talk about a guy who is expected to shoulder the offensive load and, of course, guard the other team's best player. He might not have enough energy to play in the fourth quarter. That's how gassed he will be if he guards, Steph Curry for all 48 minutes. So I'm not sure that's realistic. As far as Kyle Lowry, again, Kyle Lowry's a 33-year-old point guard. So last series guarding Eric Bledsoe, that was not really a big challenge for him. But guarding Steph Curry will be a big challenge. So I'm saying you're probably going to have to put a number of guys on Steph, get in his space, put maybe Danny Green on him, Kyle Lowry, Kawhi for a few possessions. But you can't put Kawhi on him, all 48 minutes. It can't happen because Kawhi Leonard's going to get way too tired. So, but obviously the key here is with Steph Curry is to obviously get pressure in his face, not let him get confidence. He's been lights out since Game 6 against the Houston Rockets, and he is absolutely playing at another level. So stopping and slowing down Steph Curry is going to be key. What defenders you put on him, whether that's a Danny Green, a Kawhi Leonard, a Kyle Lowry, or Norman Powell, just make sure that Steph Curry works for everything, for every shot. So that's key number 2 for the Toronto Raptors. Key number 3 for the Raptors is who is going to emerge as that second option to Kawhi Leonard. Now, we know what we're going to get for Kawhi, okay? But that second star or that second guy who's going to come in and step up is going to be key because during, the series with Milwaukee and Philadelphia, it was a number of different guys. Sometimes it was Pascal Siakam, sometimes it was Marc Gasol, sometimes it was Kyle Lowry. So who's it going to be? And the reason this is so important is, of course, with consistency, okay? You need to give Kawhi Leonard some help. Maybe against the Bucks, maybe against the Sixers, you could have certain guys step up every night. But against the Warriors, you can't be doing that. You can't have, Pascal Siakam have a 1 good game and then be a no-show for the next 3. Absolutely need certain guys to all step up individually, but then also be consistent as well. I know that seems obvious, but I'm telling you it's important. I believe with Pascal Siakam, who's been the consistent secondary option for the Raptors all season long, him coming up as that secondary scorer is going to be key. And then Marc Gasol as well, man. Marc Gasol, his acquisition in the offseason was so key for the Raptors because he does so many things well for him. And I'm telling you, he is something that the Warriors have not seen, a big man who can stretch out to the three-point line. You can't, take him out of the game because, he can do literally everything. So I think Marc Gasol and Siakam are going to be very much keys for the Toronto Raptors, and whoever becomes that secondary scoring option for Kawhi is, of course, going to provide a lot of help. Let's switch it over to the Dubs and talk about their keys for this game, and they really just have one: health of Kevin Durant. Because here's the thing, if Kevin Durant's back, the Warriors are not losing the series. I don't care what you say. So with the Dubs, all they have to do is just hold water until Kevin Durant comes back and just make sure that the ship is still afloat and they don't let games slip up. Now, for the Raptors, they have home court, so the first 2 are in Toronto. So for the Warriors, they're going to have to make sure that they for sure at least get one there, if not two. So their key really is to just make sure that they are able to get Kevin Durant back and are able to stay on track and stay afloat. But as far as their other keys, I mean, they're the superior team here. They've got 3 All-Stars. They've got 3 Hall of Famers. They've got 4 potentially Andre Iguodala. We know what the Warriors are. We know what they've been doing. I mean, the really key here is going to be the obvious one, right? Stop Kawhi Leonard, because he does everything for the Toronto Raptors, but that's harder said than done. I know Andre Iguodala is probably going to check him. He's the best defender, so that's obvious there. But as far as the other keys in this game, there's not really much to analyze on the Warriors' end, because they're the Warriors. They are the superior team. They are the favorites. They are the defending 2-time champions. So for them, they just need to play their game, and that's pretty much it. So now let's talk about my prediction and how I see this going on. The regular season, the Raptors did beat the Warriors 2 times, but again, I don't want to put too much stock in the regular season. So let's talk about this. So the first 2 games, like I've mentioned, are in Toronto, and I'm assuming that the Raptors split those first 2 games, okay? That's the best case scenario for the Golden State Warriors. And for the Raptors, obviously, the best case scenario would be to win both. But they should actually even be happy splitting it, because obviously the Warriors are the better team. So then going into Game 3 against Golden State, I'm assuming Kevin Durant's back at that point. I'll give that game to Golden State. And then Game 4 as well with KD back, I'll give that to them as well. And at this point, it's 3-1 heading into Game 5. And then Game 5 would be in Toronto. Let's say the home crowd energizes the Raptors and they somehow will their way to a win. Kawhi Leonard goes off. Give that game to Toronto. And then Game 6 in Golden State, I think the Warriors close it out, so they win in 6 games. That's my prediction. Golden State wins this series in 6 games and win their 3rd straight NBA championship. And my finals MVP, if the Warriors win, is Steph Curry, because obviously if the Raptors win somehow, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard. But I believe Steph Curry playing the majority of the series, unlike Kevin Durant, unless he absolutely goes berserk in the games that he does come back, I believe Steph Curry will finally capture his first ever finals MVP. So there you have it, folks, my preview and prediction for the NBA Finals. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.